First thing you ought to know, I'm not a chef. I'm just someone who really loves to cook. I'm also someone who has to cook on a budget. But that doesn't mean you cannot make some amazing dishes. I want to show people that first, you can cook. And second, it's not that hard to make something extraordinary, even as a beginner. So join me as we make fun and affordable food. There have been many iconic food combinations in history. Apple and cinnamon, tomato and basil, strawberry and banana, chocolate and peanut butter. There's one flavor pairing, however, that I personally think is truly underrated. That combination being orange and cream. The creamsicle was invented by Frank Epperson in 1905 when he was successful in enclosing vanilla ice cream with a layer of frozen fruit juice when he was 11 years old. He called his invention the Epsicle, which later became popsicle, creamsicle, and even dreamsicle. While researching this, I found out that I may have been wrong to think that creamsicle is an underrated flavor. One quick jump online and I uncovered creamsicle fudge, creamsicle cake, creamsicle cookies, creamsicle air fresheners, creamsicle candles, creamsicle body glaze, creamsicle soap, and the list went on and on and on. Also, August 14th is National Creamsicle Day. So yeah, I should probably just get over the recipe because my whole original point was false. Frozen creamsicle dessert. It's a summer favorite that you probably have never tried. Everybody knows oranges and cream go together well. But this dessert is very simple. It's great to make ahead of time, the day before you have an event that's usually gonna be outside or something. It is very nice, cool, and refreshing. You will love it, and it's very simple. It takes time, as you'll see, but it's very simple. So first thing we're gonna do is start with our crust. To do that, you're gonna need 4 cups of rice Chex, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of unsweetened coconut, and 1 cup of butter. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna crush up our Chex. You can do this by putting it into a bag, or if you have it, you can use a chopper, which is what I'm gonna do because it's way more efficient and cleaner than doing it in the bag. But I've done the bag a lot of times. Now you want it to be crumbs. You don't want it tiny, you don't want it dust, you want it nice and crumbly. So that is right about what we need. Next thing we're gonna do is gonna take our butter, we're gonna put it in a microwave safe container, and we're gonna melt it until it's just completely melted. Once we're done with that, we're gonna mix in our brown sugar and stir it up and then reheat it again in 30-second increments until it starts to get really, really bubbly. Once all of the sugar has been dissolved, it is ready. So you're gonna wanna mix it up once it's melted. Back in the microwave. As soon as it's bubbling and you pull it out, add just a little splash of vanilla. Stir it up. And right before you pour it in, add your coconut in with the Chex. Mix it up. And then add your sugar butter mixture in. Careful, it will be hot. Ooh, that stung. Quickly before it starts to crystallize, start mixing it up. This is gonna be the base and the crust of our dessert. Mix it until everything is really well covered. It'll be kind of glistening. You don't want anything dry still, and it smells really good. Once it's thoroughly mixed, you're gonna take a small scoop, about yay big, maybe a little bit more, put it to the side. We're gonna use that for a top, for crumble on top of it. And with the rest of this, I'm using a 9x9 square. I've lined it with parchment paper. You don't have to. I'm doing that so I can pull it out so I can show you in the end. But either way, take your crust, right on in. As soon as it's in, press it in so it fills up the whole of the base. And don't be afraid to really press. You want this tight. There we go. Should look something like that. Then, pop it in the freezer for about 15 minutes. So our crust now has been in the freezer about half hour. Should be firm, which is good. I've had this vanilla ice cream out for a little over an hour, close, maybe an hour and a half, and that's what we want. We want soup. Okay, you're gonna want to spread it and fill it basically halfway between the crust and the top to leave room for the sherbet. So I don't think it'll take, this won't take, the whole 9x9 will not take a full quart. This is 1.5 quarts. Definitely won't take 1.5 quarts of ice cream. But if you do a 9x13, I'd use basically the whole thing. I know it might seem a little messy, but trust me, the end result, very much worth it. All right, there we go. Back into the freezer until it's frozen. Now the vanilla ice cream is set, all we have to do is take our sherbet and put it on top. It is soupy, which is exactly what we want. So, I'll be honest, I should have let this thaw a little longer, but we're gonna make it work. You really need it to be moldable, is what you need. There we go. You know, it looks like a mess, granted. So, spread out as smooth as you can and make it as even as possible. For our final touch, remember that cup we saved back? I'm gonna take that, break it apart, sprinkle it over the top. You don't have to do this, but I like it because it sandwiches it a little bit. And if you have a chance to try some of this stuff, it's really good by itself. That's it. Put it back in the freezer until it's frozen solid, and then serve.
I love anything orange, like the orange sickle. It's very good.
Tastes like summer.
Creamsicle is so good. Probably better the second time around because I've had it twice.
I loved like the crispy little bottom with the Chex mix. Super good.